Attack from the outside you can deal with, but attack from the inside, your history. Once you take that first step, there's no turning back. You either succeed or you're lost in enemy territory. And if you miss, you die. And all your friends will die.
You think you have truth? You don't have nothing. You are a fake truther. You couldn't even research your way out of a wet paper bag, QNFee. You're a joke. I'm gonna expose it right now. Okay, Mr. QNFee. Okay, now you've got my attention. I'm getting absolutely fed up with your ridiculous, stupid accusations. You have no truth. You speak no truth anymore. You have nothing. You are a failed joke. Okay? Your whole sky trail, chemtrail denying ridiculousness with your, stupid memes and animation. Let's have a look at you, buddy. You want to talk about people faking things or doing what they want? Look, how is it that you're 227,417 views down right now? You want to explain that to me? You want to explain that? Well, let's change the date here. Let's do last 3 months. Let's see what Q's been up to. Look at this. You jumped up 668,639. And then, oh, look at here. You're down 255,107. How is this happening, Q? You want to explain to your viewers what's going on here, or should we just leave it at that you fake everything on your channel? One thing is for sure, you are not a truth seeker. You are not a researcher. You are a failed, pathetic Satanist who is possessed by demons, and I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out as being a horrible, horrible researcher. Let's get into a little bit of the ridiculousness that you try to pull off as something that's truthful. You think you have truth? You don't have nothing. You are a fake truther. I'm going to expose it right now. You couldn't even research your way out of a wet paper bag, QNFee. You're a joke.
14 videos. Are you some retard? This is what I mean with lying.
QNFee, what are you talking about with lying? I know how many Jeff Fuelholtz videos are on my channel. I was doing it for SEO purposes. What are you, not smart enough to understand what SEO is?
You don't even know how much videos you have about the jet fuel. You are a jet fuel hoax co-intel. You're a retard. Piece of shit. Who is this liar? It's Jason Lauvenberg, aka Awake Souls. He's starting to beg for money now. Everything pointing out they're gonna open up Patreon donation pages. Who is he? Let's check it out.
Nice one, Q. Nice one. All you have to do is go to Awake Souls channel, type in QNFE, and you'll find tons of work, including a hangout that was done well over a year ago, Q. You act like you don't know who Jason is? You play this big game? You're an idiot. You have nothing. You have no truth. All you have is ad hominem attacks and absolute retarded jokes with your stupid bird.
Look at this fat nose. He's just an ugly fat piece of shit.
So I have an ugly nose and I'm overweight. I'm a big guy. Yes, it's all true. I need to hit the gym. I am working on my weight, QNFee. But why is it that you're able to come and criticize my face? Is it because I put my face out there for the truth? What do? You're a faceless, nameless, hiding troll. That's all you are. You don't have no truth. You don't have no debunks. You're an absolute joke. You're making fun of my face? At least I put my face out there. Where's your courage? Where's your truth?
Look here. Yeah, those two are lovers and they share the same earpiece.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Jason drove 4 hours out of his way to a place where nobody liked him and hated him, and sat there so that he could live stream asking Patricia questions live, like a real investigator, like a real truth seeker. What do? You sit behind, you don't even go outside to film the sky. You don't even leave your bedroom window, Q. You're out here insulting Jason because he let someone put the earpiece in her ear, or his ear, whatever. Come on. You're an absolute joke. Again, this is the most stupid thing you could ever bring up as some sort of a debunk. You are a joke, QNFee. Everything you have, you are blind to because you are a joke. Okay? It's always the Jews. You're bashing Jason here for doing investigative research. You see this face? Does he look excited? No. He doesn't look excited, Q. And this is the face that you're starting to make me make with all your ridiculous, stupid, wannabe, it's always the Jews, no evidence, no truth. You are a joke now, QNFee.
How gross. How can you share the earpiece? Piece of shit. You pulled it in your ear again? Not for a million. I would use the same earpiece as this transsexual.
Elevation between the two that actually had them completely lined up, like right on top of each other, and that's what creates the phenomena of the eclipse.
No. Nobody ever seen the sun passes behind the moon or the moon in front of the sun. No. You ignore my word, you know about it. The orbs are the cause of the solar eclipses. Piece of shit. Come to my attention. You never talk about rods and orbs. You only talk bad. Yeah, you even have rods fly behind you. I will show you, piece of shit.
The eclipse, if you look at the sunrise and sunset angles, the eclipse, if you look at the sunrise and sunset angles, sunset angles, sunset angles.
He's starting to beg for money now. Everything pointing out they're gonna open up Patreon donation pages. Who is he? Let's check it out. Let's listen what he say. This is a video from him.
And so, to you, Natalie.
Natalie. Okay, he's related to Natalie. Jason Laufenberg, and we here have a Natalie. Let's check out some things and see if he needs money. Here he mentioned Natalie, Jason Laufenberg, his other.
You have truth, you don't have nothing. You are a fake truther. You couldn't even research your way out of a wet paper bag, QNFee. You're a joke. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all so very much for tuning in. That unbelievable, the absolute ridiculousness that this guy tries to pull off. Multiple people, actually. You know, what really gets me is I can't seem to understand how people can't figure this stuff out. I was asking you, Jason, because I'm a humble man. I try to stay humble, but why is it that there's these things that take place throughout the truth community and the earth that it doesn't seem like anybody else is paying attention but me and you?
I responded in what would sound like a less than humble way when you asked the question. But I've asked the question so many times. I even posed it to my ex-wife. You know, I got divorced this last year, and you know, she's got degrees. She's got a master's. She's working on another master's, and you know, she'd say I wasn't humble, and she, you know, like you're talking about being humble, and humbly. Well, I asked you the question: who would be able to stand above you? Who would be able to correct you? And you couldn't think of anyone.
Well, there's nobody else pointing out these inconsistencies and blatant, you know, lies than me and you. You know, the channels, they run so deep. Do you want to get into maybe a little bit of the people that you put in your title and some of what's going on and how you're feeling?
Well, I mean, you can put 100 characters into your title, and I think I used up 94 in it, and I probably needed another 200 to name the people that need to be named right now. But you know, we're not going to be able to fully debunk, present all the evidence for each and every one of these people. But at the same time, there's so many of them that they just need to be shouted out. And then if somebody wants to come back and debate us on what we're saying on this, then we can, you know, wind down, we can dig in and really dive into the evidence. We're gonna throw these names and accusations out with some evidence, because we know, we've looked at it close enough that these are accusations that we can defend. So they just got to be shouted out there. And tonight's just going to be a night, you know, normally we do Wednesdays, we do Fridays, we do Sundays, but I don't know, both of us, we just want to go out there every day. Last night we were out street activism for the fireworks. And, you know, tonight, it was fun, and I can't wait to do more, you know, bigger events and be more skilled, have, you know, what we're doing better, and hopefully other people get inspired by it and start doing it themselves. We probably go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that, you know, somebody was trolling me about the amount of views that we got on the video. And my response to him was, the reason why we're out doing that is because we're so censored on YouTube that in order to break out and get seen by other people, we've understood that we need to do the street activism. So there we got ourselves down in front of, I don't know, probably 150,000 people watching the fireworks downtown. But we had all the people taking the pictures. They wanted the selfie pic, the group pic with the flat earth sign. And hopefully these people are connected to networks, social networks, that then that picture just gets picked up and spread and goes viral. So at some point, you know, our street activism, we expect it to get to somebody that all of a sudden it just goes wild. And then we'll break out. Then we'll be out of the sandbox that we've been in.
Well, you know, regardless, I'm happy to do what I do with or without YouTube. I'll go on any platform, on almost any social network. I'm on most of them. And I do know the importance of just getting out there and sharing with the truth with people, and not just sitting behind your computer or, you know, commonly called like the basement dwellers. Because the truth seeking, it doesn't matter where you are, a basement, apartment, a kitchen, an upstairs, a downstairs, a garage, a tent. If you're a truth seeker, you're a truth seeker. If you're online researching, you're online researching. You can't put a label on it. But getting out there, being seen, and sharing the truth, and not doing it in a way, I like to use the analogy that I use with most animals. I know I was telling you, Jason, the cat analogy. When you see an animal, usually you don't run up to it and try to grab it and pet it or anything. You wait till the animal comes to you. And it's the same with me. I don't generally walk around, hey, have you heard the earth is flat? Just run up to somebody like that, because, you know, it's not going to be understood well. But unfortunately with you, Jason, and your 6x5 foot sign or whatever, everybody can see us for like, you know, a good mile. So the attention definitely comes.
Yeah. So, I mean, our purpose wasn't to ruin anybody's holiday. We understand that, you know, we all work and it's nice to have a break, and the fireworks are I'm not patriotic at all. I'm not concerned about the United States or any other country. Or
it was my first time holding the thing over the heart. And
I don't do that. I never have, because I grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah,
We weren't allowed to as Jehovah's Witnesses, so I've never done that.
I know you're an odd one, brother. I know. Bravo. So should you go into this? Like, so QNFee there at the end of the video, he was asking who Jason was. You know, it's funny because QNFee knows Jason really well. And we're going to get into the rods and the cones as well. But he pulls open a video here where you explain pretty much everything, how you were divorced with this lady, this wife of yours, and you basically walked away with nothing and moved on with your life. And so the picture of the house that's supposedly up on there was a nice house, right, brother?
Yeah, when I moved to Austin, I had the house of houses. It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe that for what I was able to sell my house for in Wisconsin, what I was able to get in Austin. But it was right during the 2008 housing bubble bust where I was able to get out of Wisconsin at top dollar and get into Austin when everything was discounted, when the market was starting to fall. And I got myself into a neighborhood that I never should have gone into. It ended up in a divorce. But it was a learning lesson. So I ended up moving into the neighborhood that, you know, everybody was, all they talked about was their cars and their vacation homes and the country club memberships and the yacht club memberships and all that kind of stuff. And I enjoy nice things, but I was never into that kind of stuff. I never judged a person based on how much money they had. In fact, I had a whole bunch of friends that had incredible amounts of money. And I think the reason why I was friends with them is because it didn't matter to me. I didn't treat them any differently than I would treat anybody else. And so we could just hang as buddies and not have the whole money issue be driving the whole thing. So the house that I moved into in Austin was in, you know, gated community. It was pushing $800,000. And yeah, my life, like I have told everybody, I was an atheist. I was an absolute atheist and hedonistic, and that lifestyle led to me ending up being divorced. And, you know, estranged relationship with my kids. And, well, I lost everything that I had. Walked away with that, just nothing. Ground zero, start over, complete scratch. And built it back up again and lost it again through a second divorce recently. So I feel like what I've gained is a whole lot of education. And the education that I gained was that material wealth is never going to satisfy you. It was never something that I ever thought would satisfy me, but having lived an upper class life and been able to associate with people that had the most elite of upper class lives, I know that it doesn't do it for me. Money doesn't do it for me.
So, that all said, I can vouch for you. You could care less. I'm a live witness. So back to what Q was trying to get at. So all of this stuff is out there that Jason just repeated stuff that he's already laid down before in all of our podcasts. So QNFee, supposedly the smartest researcher, the best at everything. He always says, come to my channel. And the guy doxes Jason from like a 9 or 8 year old house. And we live stream. Jason constantly live streams. I can show you the background in a minute, but all you have to do is go to Jason's channel. It's not really hard to do this. I don't know what's wrong with people like QNFee. They act like they have this great knowledge and great sight, but they're really blind. They're really blind to the truth. Because not far down here, you're going to see a video, and it might interest you with the address that's on it. I don't know why this is. I'll go full screen here. Take care of the docs. So here we go. Right here it says 2703 Citation Drive for sale. So in the video that Jason was playing, where Q's asking, let's find out who Jason is, he was assuming that we were opening some sort of a Patreon, which is absolutely a lie, or some donation site, which we don't do. On top of him then improperly doxing you, when we've been saying that you were saying to people in the clip that when you sell your property, you're going to get a trailer, and you can't do the trailer right now, but you're waiting till you sell your property that you live at so that you can afford this. And all you got to do is click here. And here you go, people. We'll do this live. This is Jason's property. I can vouch for it. I'm here. So the funny thing is this is all it takes to figure out where we live. Jason's never hit it. I'm right there. This is the opposite view, and I'm right there on the deck. So, so right here this is where Jason podcasts from, the corner of the trailer or the mobile home right here. This is like, if someone's trying to tell me that they doxed you and they missed, like, not only that, but I can show you guys like the background where Jason is. I'll change it on the fly here to that background so you can get both views. It's just, it amazes me the amount of non-research you can do. So there you go. This is looking out across the tree, what's behind me now. And this camera, it's like his address, everything, the people to get into contact with to buy the property that we live at. We could then go to any of the hangouts you want. Let's go to my hangout. Oh wait, no, I want to stay there.
He's no freaking superstar.
I want to go here.
I find him.
The Morgal. Apparently his wife's, something's wrong. He's put out this. I don't know if anybody saw that. Help out the Morgal if you can, I guess. I don't know what to say about that. Use your own discretion.
Give him yourself a change, right?
I don't want to be rude, but this is a later night. This is a different type of a podcast. This isn't your regular Beyond Flat Earth. This is us calling out the detractors. And so you can go to pretty much any hangout usually, you were inside for most of the winter, but you've been outside. So if we just go down here and we'll randomly pick a hangout just so we can show people, oh, look at this. This is some of the work that you do, riverfront properties. Let's just, come on. Where's a hangout? Let's see here. 1 month ago. You think you're outside back then? Let's have a look and see. Oh, no, you're inside still. So a little bit newer. Even though you can go back 9-10 months, and that's where you're going to be as well. Let's see here. Where's the hangout? Oh, look at that. This is that tree behind Jason. Look, people. This is where he lives. Like, QNFee tried to dox you, saying you live in some mansion, even though on your channel you have all the evidence, the address, a video showing it. Like, people, if you think this guy has any research skills at all, something's wrong with your head.
Well, it's worse than that. It's the context where once a person understands the relationship that we've had with Q, how long we've known him, the things that we've talked about, the things that we've been involved in, and the videos that he's produced, the videos that we've produced. If a person knows and understands that entire context, well, you're going to see. We're gonna start unloading some of this evidence to you people. That Q is a major deceiver that's been at this from the get-go. And so the CGI that we've been seeing from people like Ranty Flat Earth, from Soundly, from Wolfie 6020, we're going to see the same kind of footage from QNFee, and then we're going to see, chances are, what are channels of his where he's playing false opposition against himself. And we can go through that kind of stuff. Then we've got Adam Parable of the Vineyard, who has been a Revelation 12 sign channel that has super exploded. That he's always been courting Flat Earth, and we started addressing him as soon as we came across the Revelation 12 sign.
A year ago, over a year ago. No, a little bit less than a year ago, maybe a month from now.
Right away, we said we got to get this information that the Earth is flat to the Revelation 12 sign channels, and so there was a few main channels that seemed to be sort of speaking truth that we keyed in on. Adam was one of them, and wow, has that really spun out of control in a bad way. We're gonna have to cover that. And then Dell, beyond the curve or something?
Imaginary curve.
The imaginary curve. Got involved in a hangout of his, and he felt like there was no association between him and any other Flat Earth channel. I told him that, we would provide some evidence that there was. So we just got to make these associations that anybody with common sense that's paid attention to anything with Flat Earth already knows, but apparently he doesn't know it. And was there anybody else that we had in the title?
Yeah. eftupworld.
Oh, yeah. No room for that one.
Yeah, he was telling Adam not to trust us for no reason. We've never done anything. Never even, I've been in the guy's chat. He was nice to me, acted like my friend, but I guess that wasn't truly how he felt. It's funny because there's the river that you're filming in the video and QNFee's video. That's the river right there. But he doesn't know where you are, right? But so there it is right there. That's the spot. So it's hilarious that people can't really do research out there, and they want to call us names and make fun of us. I did see Q was doing something with orbs or something today. Let's check in with the chat. How's everybody doing? Shout out to the chat. Thanks for showing up, Joy, Terry, Derek, Robbie. So what do you guys think of QNFee?
Yeah, is anybody else, are any of you researchers that have dug into QNFee and scrutinized his work at all? Anybody pick up on anything that might set you off as him maybe being a disinformation or a COINTEL channel? Because after paying attention to this whole ranty Flat Earth and the hangout that we went into, you and I were sort of trolling the chat of Dell beyond the imaginary curve, and then he threw out this like, oh, if you're gonna troll my chat but not come on and back it up type thing, you're some sort of coward. So I went in there, and the whole thing with this, it's this CGI information that the Ranty Flat Earth, that the Nathan Oakley crowd is using. They're doctoring in curvature into their footage. And so you said something to Q, because of course QNFee happened to just be in Dell's chat. Right? I guess that's where he just hangs out. He's a Dell supporter. And so you were bringing it up to him. Hey, this is CGI that's taking place on Nathan Oakley's channel. And what was Q's response when you were telling him that?
That it's real, that he had filmed it before. What else did he say? He didn't want to talk about the Jeranism Kanagawa sunset. He didn't want to talk about that, but he said that it's perfectly normal, right?
Perfectly normal. And then, so we're paying attention to all this, and then lo and behold, Q's got windmill footage on his channel. Are you able to pull up the footage that Q has on his channel?
I don't know. I'll look.
Okay. So, lo and behold, this wind turbine footage that is obviously CGI on Nathan Oakley's channel, supposedly produced by Ranty, but I don't know, possibly made by Q. Q had this, and it looks like he probably had it out there way before Ranty did. That's the reason why I think that maybe he is the one that's the Photoshop guy that's doing this work. When Nathan Oakley says that Ranty's too dumb to be able to do this, that might be true. It might be Q that's doing it. So, what if Ronnie can find this footage again on Q's channel?
Well, he's got it taken down.
What?
Yeah, he's sharing it from his computer.
What do you mean?
Yeah, this isn't on YouTube. It's off of a media player.
Okay.
Well, because he was debunked, right? Someone said that it proves curvature, even though it doesn't. But objects beyond the horizon, beyond your circle of sight, you will see less and less of them from the ground up due to the elevation of the object. Just like your elevation gives you your largest circle of sight, the higher you are, right? So the closer you are to the ground, the less you can see. Anything past your horizon line will disappear from the bottom up. And all of these Sly Sparkane, Ranty Flat Earth, Nathan Oakley, these guys are just muddying it. They're making it so retarded, and they're losing debates like idiots. And all they have to explain to them is how perspective works beyond your horizon line. It's a joke. But here's Q. Q is saying that the section of it was huge, was almost the size of the windmill, was the size of the the glare. So we don't know. All we know is that it appears that they've been doctoring the evidence, and the reason why is because when we go and actually look for this kind.
Yeah, just pause it there.
You can't really see much there, but
no, that's perfect. That's perfect. Just leave it like that. And so this is from QNFee, and that is a wind turbine off at the distance, and you can see that the water is so far up to the, like, what would you call the main part of the turbine? Up
to the head of it.
The head, the motor, the center shaft area. The water is so high on that back one right there that the blades, you would assume, would be splashing in the water unless if there was a curve there.
Well, that's not necessarily true, but I do understand what you're saying. It appears that it would be splashing. It is beyond the horizon line. So this will happen, but unfortunately the size of the windmill that we see should be dramatically reduced.
dramatically reduced.
You should see more of it, but it should be a lot smaller.
Yeah, and we'll pull up some real imagery.
Yeah, you can do that.
But the key is to make the association. Q, when was this video from?
Years ago. Didn't you have the links open with the Humble Bee or Humble Pie, the guy that supposedly debunked him?
Yeah, hopefully I'll have to go through my tabs and see if they're still open. Because, yeah, I do want to go through that. But I was just curious if it said there what the when this video was from.
I don't see any dates.
Okay. All right, let me see. I'll take over the screen share. I'll see what tabs I got here. Hello to the chat, everyone. We had Twitwit join us, and Twitwit's not sure what to look for as far as CGI. So we're going to do what we can to try and help everybody see this clearly. Let's go through these tabs quick. Yeah, this first one is Parable of the Vineyard, having Rob Skiba on. Serious problem. We'll get back to that. All right, yeah, so this is out of all these channels that are producing CGI, that are showing curvature, that claim to be flat earthers, what we're seeing right now is channel Ranty Flat Earth, this P900 Cool Pics channel, QNFee, and I guess those are the ones that claim to be flat earthers. And then there's the Soundly and the Wolfie 6020 that claim to be ball earthers. So this is the same type of footage. This is what we were just looking at with QNFee. And let's make this nice and big. And everybody, do you see where the heads of these turbines are? And do you see the size of these blades? And look all across here. When we were challenging that Ranty was producing CGI, and you went in to do some talking to Nathan on his debate channel, he banged you over the head with, well, there's another channel that produces the same imagery. This channel right here, and look at this, people. Let me bring this back here. For one, it's got clouds behind the sun, but it's all been CGI'd.
Well, it looks like the horizon's been yanked up.
Yeah. I'm just going to slow this down here. So you watch these wind turbines splashing in the water, huh? I mean, some of these, the heads of the turbines are below the horizon. Below. And that is what Q is showing in his footage as well. It's funny that they go to wind turbines, all these guys, for their disinformation. But the let's see, where is that's the dough. Looking for the fake opposition to Q. There it is. And So just with a little bit of research, people, this flat Earth QNFee horizon, this humble bee, there's a guy that called out Q. This was in July 15th, 2016. They called out Q's material as being, well, let's just sort of scan through this here. Keep in mind, this is probably Q that made this. Just hold that in mind.
Are you sleeping?
It's got the mimetic music. This humble bee is supposedly calling out Q. So this is some video that Q made. This guy's calling it out. Oh, windmills. What are the chances? Whoa. Get this? Right up here. This is QNFee video, right? And let's just jump this back. I mean, Q's not a real flat earther, people. He says, let's check this on sea level. And then this is supposedly text from the debunker, Humble Bee, but it's probably Q. What sea level? You see how low those wind turbines are in the water? Anything that would be that low, its angular size reduction would make it the whole thing tiny. It wouldn't still have the large blades and the large head, would still be sunk in the water. And we'll bring up the pictures, real pictures. Okay, so this is interesting. We got Humble Bee calling out Q for this video, and says, and besides, it are not windmills, but wind turbines. They produce electricity, not flour. See how he spelled flour? F-L-O-W-E-R? He was referring to flour, F-L-O-U-R. But he's Dutch, so I mean, look at Humble Bee. Humble Bee's Dutch. I'm going to show you that from his channel.
Yeah, well, just pointing out the odds of someone debunking QNFee, the odds of him. He was a small channel 2 years ago. The odds of another Dutchman finding his video and then debunking it. You know, what are the odds? Come on.
Yeah, well. We'll show all the connections that can be found, and can we absolutely say for certainty that it is Q 100%? No, but if you're a truth seeker and you're honest with yourself and you look at the evidence, I mean, it'd be pretty hard to deny it, really. Choice of music. Are you sleeping? This is all mimetic.
It's not good. It's bad.
And this whole flickering light thing is nonsense.
That's
what? Look at that. I mean, that's got to be Dutch there. It's what in colder. Sorry, what is BS? So if this is Q, people, please understand that Q created a disinformation piece using windmills where he CGI'd it to put in curvature. And then he also created his debunk video on a different channel called Humble Bee. And he's playing the opposition to himself.
Are you sleeping? Are you sleeping, brother?
Yeah, Q is the Photoshop guy.
Bullshit science,
Just
He puts that in.
Yeah, it just reeks of him. He made it his own opposition piece.
Yeah, but that's what they do.
Yeah. And then he's got no channel where he puts his face on camera. Not on one of his channels does he show his face. But you know what? We do have his face. We've screen recorded him.
Yeah, but we don't stoop to those levels.
Yeah, I might.
science.
Depends on how he behaves.
Bullshit science. Bullshit science. Bullshit science.
That was showing the CGI right there.
Yeah.
The reflect.
All right, so this line right here, oh, let's go back. Let's look at this line, because this right here, you see this line up here, up close to the windmill head, and then you see the mast of it down below here and some sort of reflection. This is the same stuff that, what is it, Riley on Nathan's channel is
Anthony
covering.
and Ranty.
Yeah, they are covering this nonsense with this, like, it's just this, they just copied this top layer and they moved it up. I mean, it's not hard. We could do this in our editor programs in a couple of seconds. And then they sit there and they debate about this like it's a real thing. They create this false evidence, and then they sit around in a controlled circle
Echo chamber. Why don't you pull up the real footage and show ladies and gentlemen at home what the truth looks like, and why we at least give an example as to why we're calling this out.
All right, so this is the Humble Bee channel. We can go back to that. There's a little bit to be seen there. And there's a wind farm at sea. Here's a wind farm at sea. But let's just do this totally raw. And go wind turbine, because it doesn't make flour, right? It makes energy. So it's a wind turbine. Let's take a look at the images. So when you look at these things, most of these wind turbines have some sort of base that sits above the water that's identifiable. And so what you're going to see, we'll click through a bunch of these images. And, you all have Google. You can test this yourself. Just look at wind turbine at sea and look at these, and you're going to see that these bases on every image that you click on look at how they're above the water the entire way, and watch how the windmills shrink in angular size as they go off in the distance. And so these ones that have the yellow bases, I love, because you can you can see them off at the horizon, and you can see the same amount of yellow base is above the water everywhere. It's just shrunken based on how far away it is. So all of these images absolutely contradict the Ranty and the QNFee footage. Totally contradicts it. There's none of these wind turbines have their blades splashing in the water. None of them seem sunken behind a curve where they would be splashing in the water. Not a one. The only people that have that footage are a handful of fake flat earthers and a handful of globe earth shills. So this elevated position is not going to help us. We want to be down.
Make sure you get a good picture. You can pull it up, right? We have to really make sure people understand and just how this works. Look, you can see the yellow all the way past the horizon, right? And then look at the Ranty footage.
Let me get this. You see
look at
that,
the size
people?
reduction.
Look at the yellow bases all above the water, but the size reduction. So the ones in the back are shrunk in all proportions. The scaling in every which way, the height, the width, the depth, every which direction, it's been scaled down. And but never, ever, ever do you see these blades in a position where they'd be splashing in the water, like with the head below the water. Never. Nothing like that. I want to get some more. I mean, this is so easy to do, people. A Google image search.
Like, look at the reduction in size. So if someone's showing you windmills over the curve and they're somehow drastically sunken but not smaller, you know that you're looking at CGI.
Immediately.
Because we can always find angular size reduction. Always. Look at how all of them, the curved ones, except for Ranty and Cool Picks. Go figure, they're probably both.
And QNFee.
They live in the same neighborhood. Well, QNFee's wasn't as. Yeah, it was similar, but not the same. Cool Picks and Ranty are from the exact same, the style, and it's identical.
Just looking for.
Yeah, I had lots. You can find so many of these videos. You just type in wind turbines at sea, and you type that into the Google search, the YouTube search.
Yeah, that's wind farm at sea. So I can.
Yeah, turbines are.
None of these heads are below the water, right?
No. Only in Ranties and Cool Picks. QNFees removed those videos that he had. It's just 2 YouTube channel. And go figure, one of them debates ball earthers, and the ball earthers say, look, there's the curve. And Ranty's debunked. And this happened 6 months ago on Red's Rhetoric.
I'm not even sure about the quality of this footage, but
yeah, look at this one. Is this real?
Yeah. Yeah,
Here's the one.
That's the thing. They're people. You have to be able to use your discernment. If you think that the Earth is flat, if you know that the Earth is flat, do you think this is real? Have you ever seen that in your life? CGI. 19 seconds of CGI.
And you can see too, if you look, rewind it at the water height. If you look at the color of the water, you see where it goes down. It looks like the water's been overdubbed somehow where it's light blue there across the center, like top. That's what I see.
I think it's probably right at this water line at the top here. They've got some sort of...
Have you ever seen the color of the water? Go down 10 degrees. You should see a hard line of two different colors of water there. No sun in the sky. You don't see that? There it is. Oh, hey. There's your horizon line. Because if that's not the horizon line, this camera is sunk down into the ground. I can actually see it. See, that's how I spot CGI.
Well, I know what works in reality and what doesn't, and this doesn't.
Yeah, check it. Wind turbine. Let's see.
What's that?
Are you done? That's it?
Well, I'm just going through. I'm not sure what the rest of my tabs were. What do you want to call? Do you have more that you want to cover with Q and his CGI that he's producing? And I know what I wanted to show. It was the this humblebee. So this is the channel that, if you look here, everyone, the first video on Humblebee's channel. Humblebee, 3 subscribers. First channel is Flat Earth QNFee Horizon. That's what we're watching. This is the video that calls out the fraudulent footage that Q has on his channel. And so it's only got 129 views from a year ago. But look at, there's 5 videos on this channel. And all these videos are less than a minute. This one is quite obviously Dutch. So
Ja. Humor. Dat hebben wij hier op het platteland niet nodig.
This is the kind of humor that Q has. And then let's see, the end screen, last time I saw it, showed Dutch video. So you've got this video, you've got that humor video, then Flat Earth again. Flat Earth researchers trying to prove that mass is not. And this is so if this is Q, people, this is the way Q views flat earthers.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Billy.
All right, that's the way Q views flat earthers. Flat Earth researchers trying to prove that mass is not attracted by mass. Sort of a crazy fall.
What the hell is going on there?
So you got that. And then flat earthers get educated in science. And I don't know, this one's a little vulgar, which is totally Q. So I probably won't play that one. But people, do your research. I mean, Ronnie found this just by looking for the windmill footage of Q's right away. he came up with this channel that had debunked it, and all evidence shows that this is another Q channel right here.
Yep, probably is.
You want to keep going with topics?
Yeah, we could keep going. I'm just trying to see if it was. I just noticed a view. Like what you're going to get from QNFee is he's obsessed with these orbs. Yeah, here we go. Let me show this. So he just was this today. Yeah. So on one of his backup channels, let's have a look here, people. This guy's coming over and calling us liars and bad researchers. This guy's outside filming bugs. Okay, he's photographing bugs. Look at this. This is truth. Come to Q's channel for truth. They're bugs. It's bugs.
Early one morning. Hey, you
camera's out of focus.
Also a picnic. Hey,
he's photographing bugs. Come on, people. Come on, is this real?
All over the world, all over.
Is this guy joking with me right now? No filter on bugs? This is truth. Come on.
The world, hey, holy pan assassinator, kill man, woman, and picnic. Say them a traitor, hey, some of them are.
So he's photographing bugs and calling them strange rods, people. And this guy wants to come and try to debunk us. And, you know, he doesn't have one piece of truth. You know, we never asked for any Patreon. We never asked for any money. Jason long sold that house. The fact that your sign was flipped upside down, you designed it that way so that when you can't hold it up, you flip it down and it has your channel name on it. It's specifically designed for that style of sign. But QNFee is not smart enough to figure that out. And he's too busy with orbs. So, you know, you actually show sunrises and sunsets and the moon rises and the moon angles. When you map it out, you show that the eclipse had to be the moon and the sun interacting because their paths were perfectly aligned. Like you could map it out with the path and everything. It's super easy to do. And QNFee says, no, Jason, you're wrong. It's orbs. Okay, how about you seen my video? He's got a video from an airplane with like dirty glass, scratches, and like in the video, he's like, sorry, don't look at this part. This is a scratch. But this next circle, he circles, is an orb. And he's saying the orbs are caught. Like he is demonically possessed. QNFee, you know, all he does is call me fat and make funny noises and have his bird whistle. That is not a debunk. That's an absolute joke. You are an absolute, you're a joke. But and everyone can see except for you because you're blind to it, you know. You want to finish? I got something else. I guess we'll go over this, but
yeah, I sort of want to cover what's going on in the chat right now. We've got some new channels that are coming in that are just talking about nonsense, and we got Bunsen Honeydew that comes in, classic shilling. You know, we got people going, eek, a mouse. You know, there's no mouses, there's none of that. And we're not going to let the conversation be derailed into a bunch of nonsense. If you don't want to comment on what Ronnie and I are talking about, if you don't want to comment on the videos that we're playing, if you don't want to come on here and, you know, talk to us, ask us for a link to be able to come in and join us, ask us for the phone number to be able to call in and speak your person's mind. If you just want to put up a bunch of nonsense in the chat, you know, this is my channel and I don't want that kind of rubbish here. And I'm just going to end up knocking you out. I'll delete the messages at first and then...
Yeah, but probably the people that follow Q, because all they do is go around and make noises and laugh. They have no truth. Like they're not welcome. We're truth seekers.
Yeah, so I'm just... This is a warning to everybody. If you don't want to talk on topic, I'm going to start deleting messages. And then if you want to keep going off topic, I'm going to start knocking you off the channel. So just a warning.
So we can go into the next piece in a moment.
Cool. I got to grab some more coffee too. What did you want to cover next?
Go ahead. I'm going to bring up Flat Earth Reset.
Okay, perfect.
So, Flat Earth Reset, back out of whatever pit he was in. So, at 5:59, I'm asked, what are you talking about, bruv? Please share the link to the... So, let's listen. Let's go back here.
Up with Tyson was staged. Completely staged. I believe that. There's no way his security guard would stand down the way he did at the distance he did when somebody he could...
Staged. Roland Reddy had a whole camera crew with him. This is an absolute... What a good debunk. Good point there, Flat Earth Reset.
Clearly see is dressed up in a disguise. No way in hell.
Forget the whole camera crew, though.
So this was all staged, Rick Hummer. And I'll say it again. The Flat Earth community has rejected you.
That's true. And we're going to reject you, too, Flat Earth Reset.
And Rick Hummer seems to think that you, as a Flat Earth consumer, you know...
Flat Earth consumer.
One who watches videos has no right to judge him unless, A, you've done experiments and you've walked his walk.
Why don't you really expose him like I'm going to do after this?
That seems to be the new theme now. Oh, you can't say nothing bad about me unless you can show me experiments you've done.
Well, yes, you should be doing experiments if you want to be a credible person that's fighting for the truth. You want to do good experiments, not set them up to fail.
That's how fucking ridiculous it's getting now. You got D Marble that thinks he's some kind of superstar because he went to Alaska to film the 24-hour sun. There's already videos of that on the internet. Big deal.
What? Let's go back here.
Theme now. Oh, you can't say nothing bad about me unless you can show me experiments you've done. That's how fucking ridiculous it's getting now. You got D Marble that thinks he's some kind of superstar because he went to Alaska to film the 24-hour sun. There's already videos of that on the internet. Big deal.
Okay, so basically I'm calling Flat Earth Reset out here as the absolute worst researcher. Absolute joke. All we got to do is type in D Marble. And you know what? I've been seeing this too with people in chat saying that D Marble proved the AE map. No, he didn't. If D Marble debunked the AE map, right? He went there, and you can even tell by the thumbnail. He filmed the sunset. Not only that, but it was purposely set up so that when the sun set, people, this right here is the sunset. Okay, he was supposed to be picturing the sun circling up in the sky. This is an absolute joke. So, FE Reset, all you're out here doing is trying to muck up the waters with more like trying to reinforce. So you're repeating the narratives, adding in more chaos and absolute nonsense while trying to promote that D Marble actually did something that proved anything. D Marble actually filmed the sunset. Here, do I need to zoom in on the thumbnail so people can see? Let me just zoom in a little bit more.
Yeah, it's Flat Earth Reset's playing the part of fake opposition. So he's calling out, you know, different people, and then at the same time he comes in and validates fake evidence. And it's obviously, well, he tries to promote the idea that there's a 24-hour sun when D Marble in fact filmed the sunset. There was no 24-hour sun.
So it's obvious. Like, all you have to do is go and look on his channel, and you'll see that he filmed the sunset. It didn't do it. It didn't do a circling up sun up all day. It didn't come anywhere near that, people. And not only that, it did a huge arc over his head. You couldn't even see the ground for half the day. So if it was circling around Alaska like the AE map supposedly needs, all you got to do is go and watch. Here, I'll put the link in. You can go and watch this for yourself. People, D Marble, all he did was prove that there's no 24-hour sun. That's it. And now you got Flat Earth Reset coming out here trying to say, sorry, I've been gone for so long. But but I'm back for some truth now.
I'm gonna bang on Patricia and Mark, and I'm gonna validate their boy D Marble. So
who has nothing to validate. You could just watch this experiment and read the tone of him. First off, he didn't even have a compass with him, right? If you're going to document something, you need to have a compass, and you should have a sextant. You should be telling us the angles to the sun. He just goes there. He puts a stick in the ground because you can't see the horizon. And there's a good reason why you can't see the horizon. It's because the sun was high up in the air. And, it was a great experiment because it showed people the truth that the sun doesn't circle up in the sky. It's supposed to be up there for like 82 days or 52 days. See, look at how high up in the sky this is, people. Then the sun does its parabolic descent and it sets. There you go. AE map debunked. Ooh. Right there. It's over. He filmed it. And then go figure, instead of going up on the top of this hill, now he wants to try to tell you the sun didn't really set. It's just behind this here mountain. Let us swing all the way back east and then have the sun rise again and try to say that it's circling around over top of your head. It's an absolute joke. So people can go do their own research, but in my opinion, I've never seen the sun not set. I've yet to see that once. There it was rising. The sun was set all night. It's gone. The sun has set. And look at the colors. Match this up to the CGI. When I found out that the other one, the 24-hour sun, let's pull it up. 24-hour sun.
The Eric Dubay footage, right?
Yeah, Wilkes is the CGI creator.
Yeah, but it's Eric Dubay that made that footage popular. He put it in his videos.
Well, a lot of flat earthers did in the beginning. Simon Wilkes right here. Okay, I just want to show people. It's this guy's got no subscribers, but yet he's got 600,000 views here. This is CGI, people. He even has it uploaded as film and animation. So if you watch, I want you to notice something about the sky. This is what, the first thing that tipped me off, besides the glare, the camera rotation, a bunch of different problems, was the fact that the sky was staying absolutely one color blue. We'll go back to D Marble. What is this?
It's a sunset.
So, okay, D Marble, let's say he's 100 miles away from where Simon Wilkes is. This guy is a little bit further north, right? Is that what we're going to say? Where is that footage? Right? So that's his set. So this guy here, you're going to tell me that 100 miles, the sky's not going to change to this? But this here, you're going to tell us is a 24-hour, this is real? This is an absolute animation. The whole thing is a joke. Plus, there's still snow on the ground. This is supposed to be the summertime in the north. There's supposedly no snow. Like, whereas people are just so blind. The sky doesn't change color. Look at this. Go back to the fake. It's not happening here, people. Go back to this. Look at the colors. They're beautiful. And it was Robotham. I was reading Robotham's book, and he was with some captain in the north, and they were marveling at when the sun set at midnight, how glorious it was. Or, don't quote me, or it might have been James Cook, or I believe it was Sir Samuel Robotham. They were in tears about the beautiful twilight colors. And then you got flat earthers saying that, here we go. And people, you need to understand, the ball earth needs this, not the flat earth. The ball earth demands this. So like I said, D Marble, you actually debunked the ball earth. You showed us that this was fake.
Boom! Ball earth dead. And the AE mapping model all in one. It was that's one of those like long range sniper shots where you get the two people to line up right on top of each other. Then you have that one bullet that goes pam pam. You get the double kill.
Yeah, so I don't know if we have anybody in the chat that wants to try to debate what I just showed and what I just said. If you don't get it, we're going to have a slight intermission here. Like I said before, when I was debunking Flat Earth Reset, Jason had come across something looking for truth and doing what we do and researching. And I'd like to provide you with the most damning. You think Roland Reddy's bad? You think Roland Reddy's bad? You want to see who real comer is? You ready for this?
Let's check it out.
Turn our cameras off and mute. Ready, people? This is an exclusive. Roland Reddy, Rick Hummer, Illuminati confirmed. You see this by Rick Hummer.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself, 'cause it's right around the corner from you. La-da-da-da-da-da. Take a second and look around, my friends. I'm asking, can't you see what's going down? They run the show on you and you're blind, so pop your bubble, 'cause you're just another fish in the crowd. You walk their walk and talk their talk, and your own tongue is spreading their lies. See what I mean? That screen ain't clean, and you echo-eptus victimize. La-da-da-da-da-da. La-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm seeing the world in many ways. It's no wonder the Babylon is crumbling down. Going to and fro we go, never concerned yet. They've always been around. You walk their walk and talk their talk. You've never stopped to open your eyes. See what I mean? Your green ain't clean, and you echo-eptus victimize. Have you questioned the point of no return? The clock is ticking, and it don't plan on slowing down. The horns are blowing like never before. The trains are coming, and you're just a face in the crowd. You walk their walk and talk your talk, and the horsemen have taken their ride. See what I mean? Time to get clean, and you echo-eptus victimize.
What do you know? I see the signs of a wacko. And have you seen the ones with the means? They power culture and feed off greed. Lie after lie, planting their demon seeds. I've seen the truth and it's time to believe. They despise him and you and me. Our blood didn't come from monkeys and trees. He hung on the cross for you and me. This ain't no game of hide and seek. It's a game of responsibility, free will, and the red letters that will set you free. The King of all kings waits patiently. So what can you do? What do you know? It's time for you to drop to your knees and cry out from the floor.
Well, well, well. What can we say about that?
Wow.
This guy's a Christian?
The Illuminati, one eye. I don't listen to the lyrics, but I asked you, and what did you say the message of that was?
The lyrics weren't too bad. The message was half decent, but it's the images that they flash on the screen. Definitely like all this stuff. This
It's not
stuff's
really
bad.
Christian, is it?
No, this is the Bible specifically tells us to beware people that wink. That's a demon thing. The pyramid, the all-seeing eye, like him filming this. Like, what is with these top fake flat Earth channels? They're either failed actors, failed musicians, fake Christians. Like, it just blows my mind, man.
Yeah, so Terry Zoppi said casting spells. So both of us, we've been asking the question, why did they do this ridiculous 33, the 66, the as above, so below, the one eye, the okay or the 666 hand sign? I mean, like, what do they get out of this nonsense? It seems so childish, like infantile.
Yeah, this is all witchcraft here. It's crazy. It's crazy that this guy carries himself and tries to act like he's some sort of upstanding citizen for the truth. And look at this. Like, this is for real. And he puts it under the guise of he's trying to look like anyone that puts this kind of iconography in their videos. Come on, people. Who do you think this guy is representing?
Well, it's funny. We got Rick Rolled Facts in the chat as well. And I've seen Rick Rolled Facts in the chats recently. And my assumption has been that Rick Rolled Facts is this Rick Hummer guy.
So let's ask him, why would he be why would he create this? Like, he obviously has talent. Why wouldn't he use that talent to promote the truth instead of putting these symbols and brainwashing people?
Well, especially a person that claims to be a Christian.
This is sick for people. This is how you hurt their mind. Leviathan shoutouts, the Baphomet pictures, the Denver airport. It's all mockery.
It's bad. It's super bad.
They're all witchcraft in the globe, and like, I just can't believe it.
Satanic.
Why would he do this? It just baffles me. And then he's got the Roland Reddy, who's another, country hick and makes fun of flat earthers again. It just blows my mind. And no wonder this is the guy that meets Neil deGrasse Tyson, right?
Yeah, I mean, and he's got a film crew with him. And he's a failed actor.
They prey upon the weak, right? The people that can't see through the deception, like people like Q, that doesn't leave his front window. He films through the window. He doesn't even go outside. And his self-esteem has been infested with demons. So he makes videos about people in a mean way to make himself feel better. But really, you should just be investing your time in the truth. Same with Rick Hummer. If he had went up and asked Neil deGrasse Tyson actual, honest, good questions, I would have respected that guy so much. But why, if he had the camera crew with him, did he have to pretend to be because it's part of his Hollywood stuff, right? That's, it's just, again, another classic example of all the people you see at the top. They're all fake. All their YouTube stuff is paid for. And they all have these same symbols and signs, and they all do the same thing. Jaron, the Bitcoin scammer, they all have these crazy elaborate stories. Bob, his uncle, was in the 24-hour sun, and the only person on the flat earth that says that he ever saw it playing wiffle ball. And it just amazes me that these characters keep showing up. And again, going back to the point, Jason, how are we the only ones that see this?
It troubles my soul. It really does. I don't understand. But it's funny what you were saying, the way you started off. You said exactly what this Rick Rolled said a couple comments back, who I'm suggesting could be Rick Hummer or Roland Reddy. He said, laugh out loud. So funny how these dumb minions are following these controlled op idiots. So that is the kind of comment that I continually see from these controlled op idiots. Yes. is how they they're mocking the people that follow them, that listen to them. So they're just flat out telling you these people are idiots that follow me. Like not me, but that controlled op person. They're mocking them.
Jaron says the same thing. Richie from Boston is the same. They, you know, again, I see that higher level of echelon of people that they put out the stupidity and then they say, well, you're too stupid to figure it out. Like Chris Geo said way back on Glowbusters Hangout, where he said they do it right in front of you. And if you don't notice, you deserve to get what you get. That's what these people truly, truly believe. Actually, they believe you get more power by telling somebody, hey, I'm fooling you, but here, look at this. Like Ranty and Nathan Oakley are the absolute classic case of it. If you go back and watch the debate that Red Rhetoric had with Ranty, all Ranty had to say in the debate was that objects get smaller as they, the angular size reduction plus the distance to the horizon line has to be factored into any debate. Red's Rhetoric said, why do I see less and less of the wind turbines? All Ranty had to say was, once the end of our visual perception, our horizon line happens, objects beyond that will start to get, you will see less and less of them from the ground up, depending on how tall they are, until they angularly reduce their size to the point where you can't see them anymore. It's such an easy debate. I don't understand why these people can't see it.
I'm just typing in the chat real quick. So calling out this Rickrolled facts as the possible Rick Hummer. And if you're not, I'm sorry. But the chances of having a Rickrolled coming in the chat as we're covering this, that's somebody that we've never seen before on our channel, but yet I've seen you in a lot of other Hangouts recently taking the wrong position. I've seen you on the wrong position quite a bunch lately. And then we've got Joy Cometh coming in saying he's not Hummer. So my response is just because he says he's not, or because you know him personally. So yeah, we're in a situation right now where it's extremely hard to trust anybody. The only person I trust in this world right now is you, Ronnie, and that's because I'm working with you. I can see that you don't have the time, the opportunity, the ability to be in communication with any sort of COINTEL network that would be controlling you. And I see that you make your own decisions, and I see that everything that you put out is truth. And I double check it. I make sure that it's truth before I put my stamp of approval on it. You do it vice versa the other way. And so we can verify each other as being truthful, but it's a tough world right now in order to trust anybody. I get that, everyone. For you to trust us, extremely difficult. For us to trust you, extremely difficult. The one way that we can gain trust in each other is through our works, through the things that we do for the truth. The more we put ourselves out there, the more we put ourselves on the line. You know, in business deals, it's called skin in the game. The more skin you have in the game, the more you can be trusted.
Well, I like what he says on his channel in the About section. The channel's been around since 2014, but that doesn't mean anything. But I do agree with a lot of what he's saying. He's telling people to continue to wake up, not just to stay at one level. I don't know. I'm not willing to say that it's Rick Hummer. This seems like a little bit different of a character. The way that he uses emojis, I'm not willing to say that he is. It's just funny that his name's Rickrolled. That's all. You know, that's like you said. Coincidences are coincidences, and we're not 100% right. But when we see Ranty CGI and we go and research, okay, does anyone else have pictures of this? No. You know, there's a problem. And when they don't match up to what we actually see. So, yeah, I don't mind this Rick World guy. He's got a nice about telling people to research and to keep researching and to open your eyes and open your minds, to be open-minded. It's a good comments, good video, good channel.
Yeah, good comments. Just we as spiritual warriors need to be taught how to be aware of our surroundings all the time. So when we're watching other people's videos, I mean, when you see the Freemason or Illuminati or whatever symbols they are, when we see those, do we all of a sudden stop and go, hey, this person's probably a Freemason or Illuminati or something? And then do we let other people know that, hey, this is probably a COINTEL shill operation? So spotting, watchmen. We're all supposed to be watchmen. The guys and the gals. We're supposed to be identifying the wolves in sheep's clothing. And
I'm just pulling up some of that up and about.
And it's better for us to err on the side of caution, to call out people that maybe we were wrong, and then we can just, once the person proves himself and says, hey, listen, no, I am legit. They can come on camera. They can use their real name. They can just show who they are if they're for real. But if they can't do that, then we can just sort of assume auto. What would it be? We've got auto CGI. We've got auto fake flat Earth. And what would the auto for this be? It'd be auto shill,
auto agent, auto shill until proven otherwise. Yeah, well, that's how else are you got. It's not that you can't have an open mind, but you have to look at the situation that you can't trust everyone because you're going to get fooled, right? So there's a couple of other things too. There was this gentleman here, eftupworld, and it was funny because you can clearly see, if I draw, you can clearly see he's got a 6, 6, 6. This is right in his video. Like, I don't know how people don't see that. Seems like a half decent guy, but why would you have a black and white 666? Oh, sorry, behind you. Like, it just baffles me. And so a while ago, I was in Adam from the Parable of a Vineyard's chat. I wasn't even really chatting. And then I see this effed up world guy. When was this? This was a while ago. I don't know how many weeks ago this was, but I would not go on the Limitless channel, brother, at a Parable of a Vineyard. Now, I don't know this effed up world guy, but every time I've been in comments or in a video with him or in his chat when he live streams, the guy acts really nice to me. It's documented on his channel. But yet here he was going behind my back, telling, like, and we've been talking with Adam for over a year now, through messages and comments on our channels.
Yeah.
It just absolutely blows my mind that this effed up world guy, and what kind of a name is that if you're a Christian? Like, effed up world means, you know what it means, people. It's a cuss word. And not only that, he's warning Adam.
Yeah, warning him about us. You in particular there. So he's got the moderator wrench in Adam Parable of the Vineyard's chat. So he's a trusted insider, and we see this effed up world. What a Christian channel name that is, huh? We see him within the chats of the popular flat earthers all the time, and he's not on the right team. And what we were seeing when you were showing him his background in his room, he's got the 666 in a rabbit hole type imagery right there. He's got the clock, the swirl. He's got the clock next to it. This is like Alice in Wonderland, deep inside the rabbit hole, 666 and
black and white.
Black and white. So once again, I'm gonna go auto shill and auto Freemason in this case, because he's got the tats. There's connections where this Adam Parable of the Vineyard, he himself looks pretty squeaky clean. He plays it straight. He's not all tatted up. He's got the good boy look, but now he's got this hangout going, and his channel's been exploding. And the hangout, the guy that he has on with him, of course, has the green screen. And what does he use for his background imagery? The Masonic brick wall. And he's all tatted up. And these guys, we went after Adam Parable the Vineyard from the standpoint where it sounded like he was a true Christian. He was talking about the Revelation 12 sign. He was talking about these end times. And we thought this was a real truther, that if he would come on board with Flat Earth, that things could really break loose. And so we kept trying. And
inviting him on, sharing his videos, inviting him on, leaving encouraging messages, supporting him every way we possibly can, praying for him, prayers in the chats, not pushing Flat Earth though, people. We were just kindly along, hoping that we could explain to him, hey, listen, there's Christians that are out here that say they're Christians, but they're trying to occult the truth with lies. He knows. He's listened to our channels. He's heard our hangouts. And it just, you know what it does? It breaks my heart that I didn't auto-agent him. I went in it thinking he was a true Christian after the Lord's heart. And then, after a year of back and forth, he brings Rob Skiba on his channel first. It sounds like he did it for the views. I guess we didn't mean anything to him. I've never seen Rob Skiba ever in any of his chats or spending time with him on his channel like I have. And, I don't do that for, if you don't like me and you don't want to be my friend, that's fine. I'm not here to make friends. But, to me, it felt like a backstab when he had Rob Skiba on there, because we've been asking him for over a year now to come on our channel.
Well, yeah, it didn't feel like a backstab to me. I just saw that here we were sharing the earth was flat with him all along. And we felt like we were making headway. He wasn't saying that we were on some spinning ball. He was referring to the wandering stars, which is the biblical way of referring to what science calls planets, the wandering stars. So we thought that was good. And what we wanted from the get-go is to make sure that Adam Parable of the Vineyard knew the earth was flat and that the AE mapping model did not work, because that's a setup. It's a Freemason setup to discredit and destroy the real flat earth. So we were trying to do that. And then what does he do? He has Rob Skiba, he is probably fake Christian number one within Flat Earth, even more so than the Dean Odell, than the Roland Ready, Rick Hummer, and Nathan. Was it Nathan Roberts?
No, he doesn't proclaim to be Christian. He proclaims, as far as I've noticed, to be a Torah keeper and an ancient Hebrew scholar, with the two skulls behind his head. He's the keeping the old Torah, which that's fine with me, but you should recognize the New Testament every now and then too. And I don't hear enough of that, but continue, Jason, before I show this here.
Yeah. Well, he's also a failed actor and
filmmaker.
Filmmaker. And in the context of the people that he's associated with, like Dean Odell and Mark Sargent and all these, I'm 99% sure that he's a Freemason as well. So it seems like all these people that are dome, ice wall, AE map and model pushers, KGV only so-called Christians are Freemasons. Just
a lot of them. Dean
Yes.
Lodell even said in his one defense against the Masons, he said, the higher up Masons are the bad ones, not the lower level, even though everybody has to swear the oath, right? So, you're not supposed to swear any oaths under heaven or on earth. So, and then we go to this next thing here, just to finish off this effed up world guy. Another thing that caught my attention was this comment from Dan on one of these recent videos. Well, I'd have nearly impossible time believing I'm in the top 144,000, but I'll continue to trust in and fight for the plan, the only plan, Jesus' plan. God bless. Have a great day, Joe. And then I guess Effed Up World's name is Joe, and he says nobody would know they were in this group that was prophesied from the beginning unless they figured it out because of the things that were happening in the world. You were a pioneer, brother. God bless. So, it blows my mind that Dan Pratt literally says the God of the Old Testament is Satan. Okay, people, this is not somebody that is speaking any truth scripturally at all. That is an absolute blasphemy. The God of the Old Testament was Yahushua, Jesus Christ. It was foretelling his coming. The entire Old Testament was a foreshadowing of his coming and his second coming as well. And every scripture is prophesied, was written about him. So to call the old God of the Testament, now this guy, the fact that Dan thinks that, the only plan, Jesus' plan, have a great day, like telling people that the Old Testament is written for the devil is not Jesus' plan. And it just baffles me. I wanted to point that out.
Well, and I know that you like to keep more leeway on this, but what I see, ever since you and I came out with the video, The True Name of the Creator and the Christ, we both agreed, we did the research, that it's Yahweh for the Creator, YHWH, and Yahushai for the Christ. I'm seeing all these Freemasons quite liberally use the name Jesus. So here we have Dan Pratt, who's used the name Jesus a number of times. He's talking about fight for the plan, the only plan, Jesus' plan. So if you consider yourself a truth researcher, and you've heard that there was no letter J until about 500 years ago, about the same time the Great Deception, the heliocentric model, was released. If you're a truth seeker and you find out that there was no letter J, but you want to call upon the true name of the Creator and the Christ, you do the research, you find out that it's Yahweh, Yahushai. So I believe that the Freemasons talk in code using the name Jesus, but literally referring to Satan as they're using the name Jesus. And so this is
if they're not, this type of stuff, starting the comment off with Welsh with a swear word, is definitely not praising to the Creator we serve, because he tells us to watch every word that proceedeth out of our mouth. We don't cuss. We don't degrade our speech to that level because it has power. The creation was spoken into existence through speech. So right off the top of the bat, and I love Dan. He's a brother. He's been a flat earther for this entire time. I am not saying that I wouldn't like to see Dan in the 144,000, but in my opinion, you can't have lies, guile coming out of your mouth, convicting the Old Testament as Satan's. If you call upon the true name in your heart, then you will be saved. But I don't know about what's going on. Like, in my opinion, I would test this brother some more, in my opinion. So good luck with everything, Effed Up World. We will be watching to see what you do. We're going to follow everybody like we always do, but telling Adam not to come on our hangout, hearting Dan's comments, and not calling him out on any of his doctrine is not how we defend the Holy Spirit inspired scriptures. There was some more stuff that I wanted to cover. I'm just trying to remember exactly what I was thinking about.
See, the other thing that wanted to get out there is when I went on to Dell's Hangout, and he kept on saying that he's not part of a network. He doesn't support anybody. Nobody supports him. It's pretty obvious I think, to anybody in Flat Earth that there is an absolute connection between Eric DeBay and Dell.
Well, yeah, he's been promoting them all along.
Yeah, it's obvious, right? And Eric is the guy that him, Math Powerland, Mark Sargent, all these people, they promote the AE map and model with the circling sun, one polar point, the North Pole, no southern point. So they deny a second pole, they deny a southern pole. There's all these incredible flaws with the AE map and model. And that's the reason why I originally called out Dell, simply on that fact that anybody promoting the AE map and model is a shill, is part of a COINTEL disinformation plan. Go ahead.
Well, so it's like Jaron. For the longest time, he wouldn't say he was a flat earther, right? Dell has said yes that he doesn't subscribe to a model. His icon is sort of the flat Earth, kind of all messed up and spun around. So he's given the wrong impression with that, because we all know the ice wall and all that lie deception stuff. So he says that he doesn't promote a model, but really he's the one who's supporting Eric DeBay. Eric DeBay is coming on his show. He tried to say that they didn't have any connection, but Dell, his channel, he used to get like 20 viewers per live stream, and then Eric did a live stream with him and they promoted it, and then his channel started getting more. I don't know how exactly this is going on, but Dell just sits in his shed and preaches. And what was amazing was he was cutting up the Holy Bible, and it was like, I kept telling people in the chat, you guys listening to Dell read the scriptures, it's like going to a ball earther to tell you how flat earth works. It's not going to work. Like, it was the most ridiculous thing. I'm so thankful, Jason, that you stood up. You called them out, you stood your ground, and you stood up for the scriptures. You told them there's way more scriptures. The Council of Nicaea robbed the Holy Scriptures. This was happening in the time of Yahushua on the earth. They were taking the scriptures away. We've gone into detail into this on our channels, doing live streams, talking about the third dispensation, bringing back the Holy Spirit Apocrypha. This is what we've been doing. And then Dell comes in and just, and praising the Satanic Bible at the same time, while telling you he doesn't believe in the Satanic Bible, but he praises it. He doesn't believe in the AE map and model, yet he associates himself with other people that do. That's how he built his reputation, was on the AE map and model Eric DeBay. It just doesn't cut it for me. And, the only thing that he could do was basically yell at you, ad hominem attack you. And he just sounded like a buffoon. It was a joke, really.
So we've got Ron Sheckelson in the chat that has dropped Isaiah 40:22 twice now, and he also says that he believes in the ice wall. And so this is something that Ronnie and I have covered many, 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 many times. And we're probably going to have to hit a limit at some point where we're just going to be like, hey, just go back and watch some of our videos, because we just can't keep covering this every single time. But Isaiah 40:22, the circle of the earth, if you go back to the ancient Hebrew, you're going to see that it's the circuit of the earth, not the circle of the earth. And so it's just a bad translation. And the Freemasons are, they have their King James only type thing going on, where it's you got to be a King James onlyist if you're a Freemason promoting the AE map model, because that Bible has mistranslations specific to the AE map and model. Thank you. And we've shown we believe in the scriptures. We follow the scriptures. The models that we come up with are based around the scriptures, and so we're always going to follow that. But it's got to match reality too. I mean, if we saw something in reality that completely contradicted the Bible, we'd have to figure something out. But that's what the AE map and model does. It has the sun and moon and stars doing circles around one polar point, and we know that there's two polar points. Anybody that's done any research can see that there's circumpolar. The stars rotate around a spot in the south. It's called Sigmodonttanus. There's not a specific star there, but the Southern Cross is how to locate this position. And as far as an ice wall is concerned, if you believe in it, what evidence do you have for it? Because when I started looking, what I found out is that there's maybe about 10 or so pictures that have been memed up within the popular flat earth of an ice wall. And you just keep seeing the same 10 or so pictures. That's it. You just see an ice shelf. Ice shelf, ice shelf, ice shelf. We don't even know that it's Antarctica. It could be anywhere. It could be Greenland. It could be the Arctic. We just see an ice shelf, and we're told that an ice wall is what's protecting the dome. And there's no evidence for the dome either. So could there be a dome? I guess, but there is absolutely no evidence for one. It's like, could there be a unicorn out there? I guess, but there is absolutely no evidence for one. It's such a wild it's such a wild hypothetical, and then the circumference of what that ice wall would have to be doesn't match reality at all.
Well, it's the debate would be over whether or not the unicorn was pink. Okay. Not that there is, right? We have to assume that there is unicorn. So, we can take a twirl back in time here, and we can talk about the sky, and we can look, and we can do observations, and the fact that, this doesn't really work on a flat Earth. Skip ahead here.
With the sun shining directly at the Ottawa Valley, I have set both our local sundial and the North Pole sundial to 12 noon. The sundial at the equator is unable to display time on this dial. Now that our two sundials are synchronized, let's check some other times. I will rotate the globe until our local sundial shows 10 a.m. Moving north, we see that our pole sundial does not agree. It displays the correct time as 10:30. The local sundial, here in the Ottawa Valley, is displaying the wrong time. Setting our local dial to 11 a.m. reveals a similar problem. The sundial at the North Pole indicates the correct time is 11:15. Setting our local sundial to 12 noon and moving north, we find that this time the sundial at the North Pole agrees. The reason the sundial works so well at the North Pole is because at the pole, the gnomon, the shadow casting post, is parallel to the Earth's axes. The gnomon at the equator is actually at 90 degrees to the Earth's axis, and the gnomon in the Ottawa Valley is actually at 45 degrees to the Earth's axis. Aligning the sundial so that each gnomon is parallel to the Earth's axis solves the problem.
So that actually is what the problem is, basically. The fact that this doesn't work on the globe. I had skipped the part that I wanted to show you guys. Go back here and show you guys exactly what I was trying to show. The problem with the rising of the sun in the due east to the due west. Now, this cannot happen on a circling sun.
In South America.
Okay, I want to repeat that again slower. Can you hear me, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I wasn't muted. So if we put gnomons along the equator, if we put sticks in the ground, okay, I know I'm not a big fan of sticks and balls proving gravity and sticks proving radius, but this is something that we can observe, and it works on our map. Right? So
the sundial is located on the equator at longitude 77 degrees west. I will rotate the dial so that 12 noon is pointed north. Notice how the shadow changes as the Earth rotates.
So what the shadow isn't doing is circling. So if there was a sun going off and up to the right and circling around an AE map, the shadow would always circle.
Like the rotating shadow at the North Pole, the shadow here at the equator just changes length.
It does not
In
curve.
the morning it is long. As the day progresses, it gets shorter.
And then there's a point where there's no shadow when the sun is at its highest point in the sky.
Disappearing at noon, then lengthening again throughout the afternoon.
This does not work on an AE map and model. So there's there's that proof, and then I'll get down to the next. And then Jason, I wanted you to go into the Mandela effect tonight. Depending on if you'd like to stay going, I think we should.
Yeah, we can cover some if you want.
But this is really, really key. Is this video? Yeah, here we go. This is that old video again. I'd like to show people. Anyone who believes there's a dome and some amazing magic. Oh, I want to play. What's going on? Maybe I can't play this. The video's gone? How would they have edited it out of my slideshow? That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Might just be glitched. There it goes.
You're right, it was glitched. So you need two poles, right? You can't have one pole. We got a southern half of the earth and a northern half of the earth, right? This is just a circle. There is no east, north, south, or west. It's all so you see how not only that, but how do we see through the sunlight to see the dome on the other side, to see these stars? That was a QNFee debunk, but see how it's spinning above Polaris here? That's what Eric DeBay and Dell, well, not Dell, but everybody else purports.
Yeah, Dell supports Eric, who says this.
Yes. See, there's your Milky Way.
He doesn't call him out and tell him that this is impossible.
Yeah, but this video shows it. The problem is you need to have two poles. This is only one side of the map, right? And you can't see through the sunlight to the other side of the dome to see the stars. It's impossible, right? So if you see the sun and the moon up here with the stars, this is not the way we see the sun travel through the sky. Okay, people. Remember the shadow experiment. The shadow would always be going like this. It would always be turning. We do not, you see how we just, that's one of the greatest proofs right here that I've been saying. You see this angle here? I need you to look when you got a chance.
Yeah.
You see how the stars are perpendicular to the view?
Yeah.
Almost at a 90, right? That is how we can film the sky stars, okay? This is how it looks. We don't ever see the stars do what this is about to show you. Watch. See how now we're at, this is a different view. The stars never rotate above our heads like this. They rise and they set. See this? Again, I want to go back. This is the real perspective that we see.
Yes.
This is what a flat earth perspective would dictate. That's real. That's fake. Okay, people, if you don't understand what I'm saying, this is perpendicular. This is above our heads, okay? So we'll just continue on with the video. This just debunks the AE map and model. It doesn't debunk the flat earth. That's what I find so funny about it. We smashed all this. We showed exactly how this could work on a flat earth. See how the moon or the sun comes in like that? We do not see, and you can see the shadows. This is not how we see. I hate having to do this for people, but how can they still not understand the AE map circling sun model does not work? Like, it's set up to fail by the Freemasons. Well, it's a Freemason model. The Jesuits believe we're on a geocentric ball. That's everything is around them.
Jesuits are just flat out liars. They're all about control. They're trying to prop up the Vatican.
So Jaron, Mark, and all those other people that are at the conferences, that are on TV, Rob Skiba, they'll all tell you the sun is roughly 300 miles high. And if that is true, and the
3,
sun stays 3,000 miles, that's what I meant. The sun would never be rising and setting, people. It would be like this. Look, here it would come. Look, people, this is a parallel path. This guy modeled it correctly. This is, look, do we see that in the sky? No. And you can't tell me because of atmospheric. If there was atmospheric refraction going on, these stars would not look like they do. They would be all blurred out. come on, people. There's like a tiny band along the face of the earth that gets distorted. That's it. You know, I can't create the sun to do something that it's not doing. So there's that debunk. We never see that perspective. And then the moon phases. If the moon was a globe and its light was the way it was, but we only see one side of the globe, which is, you know, a globe debunk. At three different positions in one night, an observer from these three continents, which can all see the moon, would see different faces of the moon on an AE map with a 3,000 mile up moon. This is debunked. It's proven. This is what we see. You do not see three different. We all see the same face. Now, you know, Nathan Roberts that came on our channel said, "Oh, the moon's not like this. Flip the light of the moon." So we do know that the moon is within the same. I believe it's energy that it's transferring, but it is sort of tidal locked with the sun. The sun on this model is over here, right? Opposite. There's no way the moonlight would be like this, because then the sun would have to be in the ground, people. Like, I hope this is really simple for people to understand.
Well, yeah. Well, keep in mind that the moon travels between like 18.5 degrees north latitude and 18.5 degrees south latitude. So if you're in, you know, southern Argentina, you would be seeing the backside of the moon that, you know, the same time a person in the northern hemisphere would be seeing. You would be able to see both sides. You'd be able to see the backside, the front side. You'd be able to see every single side of the moon except for the top.
Yeah, like right here. Africa would see this picture. South America would see this. North America would see that. That's what it would look like with the 3,000 mile up sun moon. We can model it, people. This is absolutely debunks it, right? It totally does. And then they go into perspective because the sun and the moon rise. They rise and they set, just like it says in the Bible. You know, flat earthers don't like those scriptures, right? That the sun come out.
Not only that, every month the moon rises with its. It'll come up 90 east to 70 west, but it'll also have its rises that are way north of east, and sets way north of west. And then it goes into its other phase where the rise is super south of east and sets super south of west. And that happens every single month. Every month.
Yes, the moon's path. And again, like I showed Jaron and I showed everyone else, we can measure this, people, from this spot in South America, They can measure the sun coming up from the south, arcing over their head, and then circling off south again. And I want to show you, this is what that looks like. The sun here it is. The sun's coming up. Does this look, how does this circle here, people? See this circle? The sun's coming up. We can measure this. There's people doing it, and it sets going like this way. How does that work if it's supposed to be doing circles like this? It's absolutely impossible, people, with all measurements and observations. So these flat earth people are absolutely, all of them, every single one that promotes this map, Mark Sargent, Rob Skiba, and, you know, it's too bad that Adam didn't join us. It saddens me. But, you know, they all seem to be King James onlyists as well. I don't know if I've heard Nathan Roberts specifically say that, but there's that Doka guy, there's Dean Odell. I don't know if Dean Odell said that, but I do believe a lot of these guys out here in the internet are using the King James only. And I wanted you to maybe do a little bit of a study tonight on the Mandela effect because, you know, I think it's real. I think it's happening. I've seen evidence of it, right?
Yeah, I've run into it. I've been affected by it. You know, there was the like pop culture things like Star Wars, Luke, I'm your father, as opposed to I am your father. Super confident that it was Luke, I am your father. I had the VHS tape and watched that movie after school, like every day for like almost an entire school year. So I'm confident in that. Then so that's one of those ones where you could argue that, hey, maybe this was just changed, you know. Well, there's the other changes, like the Ford logo. That one sort of got me with the pigtail on it. Staples with their new logo. I don't remember the staple in the logo. And so these become like physical changes where signs that one day I remember being a certain way are now another way. That's a curious thing to have happen. And then the Bible changes came along. And, the first ones that I heard about were the wolf will lie down with the lamb as opposed to the lion will lie down with the lamb. And that one I remembered super clearly, having grown up Jehovah's Witness. The Jehovah's Witness literature, they had artists that did a lot of artwork for the scriptures to sort of meme it up. And so even now when you search for lion and the lamb, a number of the images that pop up of a lion and a lamb are Jehovah's Witness artwork. But now it says wolf and the lamb, even though there's a lion in the picture. So it becomes super weird that way. That was one of the Mandela effects that I tried my parents out on. I sort of set them up where I just asked the question, was it the lion and the lamb or the wolf and the lamb? And right away they were confident that it was the lion and the lamb. And then I, told them, check your Bible. And guess what? They came back and said, we must have been wrong. Our memories are bad. We got it wrong. And what a disappointment. So there was that one, the wineskins. I guess now they're wine bottles. I think my parents failed on that one as well. They said, oh, we got bad memories. It wasn't wineskins, it was wine bottles. And then the one that I really got them on was my name. So having grown up Jehovah's Witness, sitting there, 2-hour-long meetings, Thursday nights, Sundays, and I would, sometimes some of these speakers were pretty boring. So I'd be just sitting there flipping through the Bible. I didn't have anything else to do. And we had some good reference Bibles. So look through the index and what's one of the first most obvious things that a person's going to do? They're going to look for their own name in the scriptures. And I've done it many, many times. I have a younger brother, 5 years younger, with the name Adam. So my parents were Jehovah's Witnesses. They named me Jason. They named my brother Adam. And I remember complaining, how come you didn't give me a biblical name? And then you give my brother a name like Adam, which is super biblical. And so I asked them about it. Again, the text with this Mandela effect in mind. And, why didn't you give me a biblical name? And then, see, now my name is in the Bible. And I'm confident that it was not. I would have remembered. I would have found it. Jason's just not a biblical sounding name whatsoever. It's just way too modern. And now you can find it in scripture. So Mandela effects, the reason why I brought them into the conversation when we're talking about the truth of this world is just because, to me, they're a super, super good proof that we're in some sort of simulation or realm. It is the explanation, a find, replace. And then we've got Satanists like Arwen, who claim to have actually changed scriptures. He says that he is the one that replaced a place where it said Lord, with Baal in the Bible. This is Arwen, who supports Flat Earth and other hot potatoes, and who is like co-host with Nathan on his show. So those are some of my experiences with Mandela. Are there any people in the chat that have been Mandela effect, and has this helped you understand that you're in a simulation at all? I'd love to hear from you. Anything you wanted to share about Ronnie?
Of course. Oh yeah. As you can see up here, I'm going to actually show the Mandela effects, the biblical ones. So this is the praised King James Bible, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this. So right off the top, we got wild ox has been changed to unicorn. Nation is now heathen, and the word heathen is attributed to the pagan culture. So pagans call themselves heathens, right? So as you can see, the blasphemy just continues. We got urine is now piss. Two people is now two men. Grinding flour together at the this one's sick. Grinding flour together at the mill is now grinding. So it said two females were grinding flour together at the mill, and now it just says two females were grinding together. Passover has been changed to Easter. Again, a Gnostic. Remember, this is the King James onlyist people. This is what they preach. They open their books. This is what it says. Has been changed to should. This image is not from any Bible. What does it say? For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever. I don't understand. I don't get that one. But wineskins has been changed to bottles. Everybody has seen that. There's so many of these. Like, it just goes on and on and on. And people don't understand. This is also prophesied. It's the Bible said that this was going to happen. Earth has been changed with stream. I guess sand and stream with flood. Was written on a scroll. They've got it now printed in a book. And they come on, like these are so obvious. People, and above all things, have free. What go ahead, Jay?
And the emojis too, right?
If I do a search for that, I wonder if it'll come up. Emoji in the KJV. That one just absolutely made me go crazy. Wow, 40 emojis in the King James V. Can you guys believe this? 40. Where are them? Let's see these. Oh, I don't see. Nah, come on. They got to have evidence of it. So that didn't take us where we wanted to go. Smileys in scriptures? Okay, yeah. I guess there are smileys. After Matthew 24:15, there's a smiley face. Look at all these guys. They're all smiley faces, people. Come on, think about it.
There weren't any smiley faces in the Bible when I was reading it.
No
when I was younger.
So no smileys from Jason in the Bible. Let's see if we can get some more emojis in the Bible. What are they saying here?
So keep in mind, people, when we're talking about these types of Mandela effects, we're talking about people's Bibles that have been in their own home, sitting on their shelf, never touched. This is printed paper and ink that is now changed. Bibles that could be 100 years old, 200 years old, 300 years old, changed. So when you start contemplating something like that and really let it sink into your head and try to figure out how something like that's possible, it is a wonderful simulation / realm proof.
Mm-hmm. Simulation realization that this can even take place. Like, Matthew 7:1 was changed, judge not lest ye be judged. The original was judge not that ye not be not judged. There's so many wineskins to bottles. The word matrix, which I've actually shown people, thought that was pretty interesting that the word matrix is now in the King James version of the Bible. Does this person cover the emojis?
So Catherine Maurer says it's not CERN changing the text, it's just the publishers, right? Well, no, we're saying that these aren't like edition changes where it was a certain way and now new editions have these changes in them. What we're letting people know is is people that have the 100-year-old, the 200-year-old, the 300-year-old Bible sitting on the shelf in their house, printed paper and ink, that these changes are there now in those scriptures. Crack open the Bible and bam, there it is. So, yeah, how do you explain that? Well, what we're saying is that this is some sort of satanic technology that, be it just witchcraft, be it through some sort of machinery, who knows if CERN's involved in it one way or the other, but that the actual printed paper and ink is being changed. A sorcery, a witchcraft, a technology that's doing a find and replace. So like Ronnie and I were publishing videos on our channels, and let's say there's a song in the video that has a copyright on it. YouTube has the ability that if we just want to remove that song from it, it can pull out of the video that music and leave like the rest of the voices, the rest of the commentary, all that other stuff. So it can go in, it can find that audio and pull it out, extract it. And so what we're suggesting is that the Mandela effect is the same thing, like some sort of digital reality type thing where you can do a find replace. You find all the instances where this exists in reality and do a replace, and it switches it everywhere, including the things that we consider material, like printed paper and ink.
Yeah, we can watch a clip of this. Someone's actual Bible.
Hey guys, it's Meeks again. I'm in a frowny face mood. No, not really. I'm not actually sad, but it is funny to notice a sad face emoji in scripture. Look at this, guys. Will you look at this with me? Okay, where's it? Hold on, I'm trying to point it to you. Okay, will you look at this, guys? We've got a parentheses mark, and then a colon after it. For what reason? Does grammar usually work like this, guys? Have you ever seen a whole sentence in or most of a sentence, an unpunctuated sentence within parentheses, and you know, then they just like throw in a colon. They started the sentence in parentheses. For what reason? I don't know. I don't know if there was a reason. I guess, you know, in 1873, when this edition was updated from the 1611, they just thought they could throw in parentheses and colons wherever they wanted without rhyme or reason or without justification for doing so. So that's very strange, guys. We all know that the grammar wasn't this willy-nilly when the King's men were compiling this in 1611, or when the people who were chosen, most likely incredibly, intensely well-educated people who were chosen to update the Bible in 1873, do you think they would have been this crazy, just 4 sheets to the wind with this grammar? Do you think they would have been like, oh, you know what? We're starting a new sentence. Let's just throw in a random parentheses mark. Do you think they would have chosen to... Come on, guys. And then, so basically, they're starting out the sentence in parentheses. They capitalize the F. And then it's so basically, like, this is like a hidden part of the sentence because it's in the parentheses. So it's like almost like they're starting out a whole sentence with a colon. Do you know what I'm like? That's bizarre. There's like, what are they using this colon in here for? You know, like a colon is in there to really, it's to say like there's a list coming. That's what my grammar teacher taught me that you use a colon for. It's like you're going to name items off in a list. That's what you use a colon for. And a semicolon, disregard the parentheses here. I was just like writing things out. But yeah, a semicolon is for kind of like a break between two sentence clauses, between two phrases, you know? It's like you're taking a pause. But to start...
you know, there's probably a lot more of this. Meeks has covered a lot of this. Absolute, like, look at this one. We got a wink. We got a wink here. You know, I just find it really odd that that we're seeing this kind of stuff happening in the Bible. It wasn't there when it's another sad face, a smiley face at the end of the sad face. It's just blatant. I don't know what to say. Jason, what is this? You know, I don't feel that the word will ever be completely taken away from us. Even if it was, we would have the word imprinted in our hearts, and people like Jason and I and many others that are out here speaking the Bible and reading the scriptures, we will prevail. And the word, which is Yahushai, will last forever, but books and paper will burn.
Yeah, so that is the key. Ron Sheckelson said, I'm a new Christian. Flat Earth brought me to God. I never read the Bible cover to cover. So as long as we do have the scriptures right now, and we do have people that we can communicate with that have read the Bible for a long time, you know, they've known the scriptures for many, many years. They've got them written in their heart. So read the Bible, talk to people that have known the scriptures a long, long time. And pay attention to the Mandela effects that you hear about related to scriptures. So if there is a Mandela effect in scripture that would affect a doctrine, something that you're reading about that would affect a doctrine, then you need to talk to a Christian that knows scriptures for a long, long time to see what it might have originally been. And then you got to study the context of all the scriptures and make sure that you know, whatever the mistranslation, whatever the question is, that it doesn't take something out of context. If it does, then you got a problem. So
I just put in a link right there to a place where you can listen to the Bible. See, look.
Chapter 8. Then they all went home, but Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. At dawn he appeared again in the temple courts, where all the people gathered around him, and he sat down to teach them. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. They made her stand before the group and said to Jesus,
Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. Now, what do you say?
They were using this question as a trap in order to have a basis for accusing him. But Jesus bent down and started to write on the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them,
Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her.
So you can listen to the whole thing on here. I put the link in the chat. I suggest you start at Genesis. You don't have to use the dramatized. I just put that on because for live sake, for the podcast's sake. You know, Brenda, humans have known the earth as a globe. Yeah, that's, you know, I don't know, Jason, it's your channel, but whatever. It's just a troll.
Yeah, it's a transsexual troll from the Nathan Oakley channel. And we're Christians here. We've listened. Brenda is one of the worst trolls on Nathan's channel. So boring to listen to, never takes it anywhere, and not a Christian. So by not being a Christian, that automatically makes you a Satanist. So Brenda, I've told you many, many times before, and you can come on camera in a live hangout, and we can debate the shape of Earth, and we can settle it once and for all. But we are not going to put up with the nameless, faceless shills, trolls, especially the satanic ones.
And just to do a recap again, D Marble actually went to Alaska and documented the sun doing exactly what Jason and I had said, that it would set, and no sun stays up above the horizon for any amount of time. Every day the sun rises and sets, and we're going to get this beautiful color, unlike in the CGI. But so we've gone over a bunch tonight. I don't know, Jason, if you want to keep going or play some videos or just call it a night.
Yeah, I'm just ready to wrap it up because we'll probably do this again tomorrow night.
Sounds great with me, brother. I enjoyed it fully.
All right. So, Brenda, if you want to debate us, send an email to awakesouls@gmail or awakekeeple, so AWAKEEPLE @gmail. And we'll schedule a time. This will be, you got to be on camera. And it's got to be live, and we'll discuss the shape of the earth. We'll have the debate. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm all in. Email us, AWAKEEPLE @gmail.com and awakesouls@gmail.com. We'll be waiting for the email there, Brenda.
And Brenda, if you don't have a camera and you still want to have the debate, I'll buy you a $5 webcam. Just give me an address to mail it to. And we'll get you on camera so that you have no excuses. But thank you, everyone.
I'm just going to play it out with a video in a minute. But yeah, that was it. You didn't recap.
What's that?
Just recap what you were talking about tonight for everybody that might have joined later.
Yeah, we started off with QNFee. He was maybe one of the earliest CGI producers producing curved footage, doctored footage, CGI footage. It looks like he made his own debunk channel to debunk himself. So he's a serious intel agent, playing many sides. You know, he hasn't been putting out much content lately, but don't be deceived. He's doing it on other channels, and he is a major player creating falsified evidence. So there was him, there was Rick Hummer / Roland Reddy. His part in this, you know, we were exposing his connections to, well, he's the head of FE Core.
That new video, the old video.
In the new video, he's a failed actor where he's got the Illuminati triangle on his eye, and he shows a bunch of satanic propaganda.
Bunch of Baphomets, you know.
There was the eftupworld, who is a moderator in Adam Parable of the Vineyard's hangouts. Adam Parable of the Vineyard is a Revelation 12 rapture sign watcher that is now saying the earth is flat, but he had on Rob Skiba, who he did the CGI for the It's a Mirage Chicago skyline. And another failed actor, chances are another Freemason. The guy that Adam Parable of the Vineyard has on his hangouts, his green screen background is the Masonic brick wall. Let's see. Then there's Dell. We talked about him, how he is directly connected to Eric Dubay, who is a promoter of the AE Mappa model. Chances are another Freemason. He was exposed by a number of people as being a Freemason many years ago. So
probably a Jesuit.
Maybe a Jesuit, but yeah, he uses Freemason, was it iconography or symbolism in videos and
poses and everything.
Yeah. So, and then we also talked about the Mandela effect and how that's a simulation proof and how it has affected scripture. So it's important to be constantly reading the scriptures, getting them embedded into our heart the best that we possibly can, because if these effects continue and get worse and worse and worse, it's just going to garble it up. So we got to act quickly and study up on the scriptures as much as we can.
Hold fast to all truth.
So we got P. Mars saying flat earth is a freemasonic lie. And no, it's flat earth is not a freemasonic lie. The popular AE map and model is the freemasonic lie. So the earth is flat, but the AE map and model is a Freemason lie. That's true.
Well,
thank you, everyone.
Yeah, it was a good time, brother. Hopefully do it again tomorrow. You guys know where you heard this only.
Beyond Flat Earth.
There aren't many things in this world that make me mad, but lies and deception do.
Are you awake? Are you just sleepwalking?
My passion is driven by a desire and a yearning for finding the truth. And the truth destroys lies and deception.
Are you awake? Are you just sleepwalking? Have you ever been stuck in a dream that felt so real that until you woke up grasping the side of your pillow, you realized it was all just an illusion?
What we really want to get through to people is the fact that we're not on a spinning ball, that the popular flat earth model with the sun and moon doing circles is impossible, and so we have to keep looking for another model.
What if your thoughts truly did create your reality? What if everything we were told was nothing but lies? How could we figure this out? What could we do? Join us live as we broadcast worldwide, Wednesday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Beyond the Flat Earth.
We actually have physical, observable things that we can go to that clue us into the fact that this is a simulation. It breaks down at the pixel size.
Are you awake? Are you just sleepwalking? Well, my friends, I have a message for you today. You are dreaming. What if your thoughts truly did create your reality? What if everything we were told was nothing but lies?
What are we? We're the context of all it is, not the content. We're the decision maker as to what reality is. Because we take all the bits and pieces of information and we put the story together in our heads. So, can we use this to discern truth from lies? Can we look at COINTEL information and figure out what is the truth that they're saying?
Join us live as we broadcast worldwide, Wednesday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on Beyond the Flat Earth.